Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Booze. It's Thursday, it's whiskey day, and I'm glad to be here. Hopefully you are too. We have a kind of an unusual whiskey for you. So we always like to go out and get not the big named whiskeys. I mean, we do have Buffalo Trace, we do have Sazerac, Brown-Forman, we do have Diego products, but we like to go and find things that are more unusual, craft distilleries, small, state type things like I don't know, Tin Cup or Breckenridge or Westward, things that are more mainstream, but not necessarily those big companies. But we also look for really small stuff and unusual stuff. We shop all over the world on our travels, and a lot of European stuff, some Latin American stuff, and even some Asian stuff that you may not have your ability to get your hands on. This, however, is a very unique and different kind of whiskey, but you should be able to get it. It is a domestic whiskey from Houston, Texas, and this is called Bio Whiskey. Bio Whiskey is produced and bottled by Natural Spirits USA in North Charleston, South Carolina, but it's owned by a Houston company, I thought. Getting conflicting results here. It could just be bottled here in Texas. I don't know. But this is from Bio Whiskey. It's with natural botanicals. It's bourbon whiskey with natural flavors infused with secret recipe and 16 natural botanicals. So, what does that mean? It's a bourbon whiskey. It's probably a source bourbon whiskey then is infused with these different botanicals, kind of like a gin is done, and gives it a different taste. Now, the price of this is only $24, and if I remember right, let's do a quick look. It's only 90 proof. Yeah, 45% or 90 proof. I would almost say Bio Whiskey is kind of like saying gluten-free. It's more of a gimmick, but let's go ahead and give this a taste and see if it has more of a, I don't know, gin-infused aspect to it. So, it smells like a whiskey. It smells like bourbon. It's got spearmint. Smells like a decent bourbon. Spearmint, some green apple, dark cherry, a little bit of earthy undertones. Maybe some hints of molasses, but it does have a little bit of a alcohol sting to it, medicinal. It's got some other things in there. Probably those botanicals they're talking about. I'm not really sure what I'm getting here. Hay, but those are all very common with whiskeys and bourbons. Very odd. Again, I think that the term bio whiskey is probably very gimmicky, like saying gluten-free. Anything distilled is gluten-free. Let's try the taste. Still tastes like a whiskey. It's got some peppery notes, some spiciness, that dark cherry. Very small hints of mint, spearmint. It's got a backburn to it. It's spicy enough that it's getting my sinuses going. Kind of a warm aspect to it. It's not very cooling, it's more warm. It's giving you a little bit of almost a rot gut feeling. And it's got a little fungal aftertaste to it. Overall, though, it just tastes like a whiskey, like a very young, immature whiskey. I'm going to say bourbon because I think it's got more online with a bourbon, and it does say bourbon whiskey. It's got that dark cherry and those spearmint and kind of a green apple flavor to it. Not sure what they're talking about with the botanicals though. So somebody maybe who has a little bit more experience than I do could pull out those botanicals, but for somebody just trying this new, 25 bucks, pretty decent price for something quite unique. I actually absolutely hate their labeling. I think it's a really cool square kind of apothecary bottle, medicine bottle, but their labeling is just not great. I think I would have invested a little bit more into kind of a more, I don't know, apothecary, kind of a cool old label. Give it some history instead of this kind of generic, I don't know, Photoshop label. That's just my opinion. The whiskey though is pretty good for a immature whiskey. I think there's no age statement or anything on there. I think that it's worth the 25 bucks. So give it a try, and you can always use it for those people in your life that are not very knowledgeable about whiskey and want to drink healthy, and so they might say, I want the bio whiskey because it's better for me, it's gluten-free, I'm gluten intolerant. You know, the reason those labels are on there is to try to trap those people that don't know what they're thinking. Of course, I could be completely wrong. You can argue with me. That's what the comment section is for. Leave those comments in the section. Let's have a conversation about that. But tell me what you think about bio whiskey. We do have some non-alcoholic whiskeys that we're going to try do a review on, or I don't think we have, but it's time for us to do another drinks for the designated driver, so we'll be looking at that soon. Maybe we'll do that on a Friday cocktail hour. But go ahead and leave your comments below. Make sure you check out all of our other videos Monday through Friday. I'm going to give this a solid 3. I think this is a 3-barrel overall. The cost is right. The flavor and aroma they're pretty good. So yeah, this is a solid 3. We could tip the scales to a little less than a 3. There's plenty of 3s out there that are much better, but we're going to go ahead and leave this as a 3 and leave it at that. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Go ahead and leave those comments, and remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is good whiskey. Cheers.